Welcome back, Real Chip TV. It's going to be the Battle of NovaCare Linebacker Edition special. I'm your host, Stephen Hellman, here with Tom Moresco. And Tom was lucky enough to go to Eagles training camp on Tuesday and to have a front row seat nonetheless.
Had to get there early.
Yeah. What time did you get there?
8:30.
8:30? Yeah. This guy sending me selfies from like the front row. He's like, look where I'm at. I'm just sitting at work like, this is cool. This is cool. So, you said that at camp, and it's convenient we're talking about linebackers. You said they were the most impressive thing that you saw at camp. Well, I mean, what was your initial reaction to it?
I just love it. From the first thing you notice is the physicality of the linebackers. The build, that their physical build is just unlike any. I mean, you look back on the Andy Reid era, and you're seeing guys like Omar Gaither, Moses Foku, Akeem Jordan, Ryan Roll, these undersized linebackers, late round picks, undrafted guys. He just didn't value linebackers. And to see a guy come in here, we're running a 3-4 defense now, and we are loaded at linebacker. And they were practicing right in front of me pretty much the whole time in individual position drills. And they're just so overwhelmingly physically gifted that you just have to just drop your jaw at them. And then when they're playing the 7-on-7, 11-on-11, one play, Connor Barwin takes Nelson Aguilar and throws him into the running back coming out of the backfield. Both of them were off track. Connor Barwin blankets the receiver, and Sanchez had to hold the ball way too long because no one was open. He was looking there, but Barwin literally took two guys out of the play. So Michael Kendricks put some big hits on DeMarco Murray coming out of the backfield. Kiko Alonso did the same. I think Murray was getting a little frustrated because they're not supposed to tackle, but he kept hitting the ground. So, I mean, it was really fun to watch those guys fly around and make plays.
No, that's awesome. They're looking big. I mean, as much as I'm going to miss the Dahani Jones, Erica and stuff like that, you said that these guys were looking like just jacked. They were wearing the shirts were like up to here, so you could just see all the muscles.
Like,
that's
looking
just
like Hercules.
There's like 4 or 5 Hercules just running around out there, which I think Chip did a really great job of. Making sure that we got deep at linebacker, by adding Kiko Alonso and signing other guys. Because once D'Amico Ryans went out last year, that was just I felt like the whole linebacking core just fell apart.
The whole season kind of started going downhill after
that. I mean, that Texans game, because then we lose Nick Foles too, and it was just, a disaster. But, Brandon Graham did look pretty good there last year, so that was a plus. Did you see him this year? How do you look?
Him and Marcus Smith both look really improved. Brandon Graham's obviously going to start now for the first year in his career. And Marcus Smith, he came back and he looked really big. He looked really big and fast and physical, and I'm really excited to see his progression going forward here.
I mean, and hopefully he can live up to his first round potential.
Exactly.
And Chip, we trust that. We know Chip has a plan, and we know there was a reason that he did not play last year. But anything else from camp that you really saw that stood out to you?
Yeah, I just wrote a blog post on my blog about it right after I got back. I took a nap because the sun wipes me out. I'm burnt to a crisp.
Yeah, lobster, man.
I'm going to be there Sunday. I'm going to bring sunscreen. But I wrote about, one of the things I wrote about was the connection between the fans and the players. We stayed the whole practice. After practice, they came up to the wall, Byron Maxwell, D'Amico Ryans, interacting with them. They were signing autographs. I told Byron, I said, Philly's going to love you here. And he said, I love it already. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, so it was cool. And you can tell these guys really care. And Byron Maxwell, by the way, looked awesome. Him and Josh Huff went at it. Him and Nelson Aguilar went at it. Jordan Max was mostly in the slot, but they had a couple nice battles. He's the real deal. He really looks like he's the guy that's going to bring that secondary back to life. And Malcolm Jenkins was looking great. They're all looking like there's some rust to be knocked off, but it's coming along.
Yeah, no, that's all great to hear. That's exciting. Out of curiosity, how long was the open practice?
Well, I got there at 8:30. They opened the gates at 10, so we were waiting an hour and a half in front of the gates. And from that hour and a half, we were like some of the first 20 people there. There was 16,000 that came out on a Tuesday afternoon. And they want to talk about the worst fans in the NFL. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Sports Illustrated, whoever wrote that article, 16,000 fans on a Tuesday afternoon.
That's insane.
Unbelievable. So we were standing at the gates, and we just kept looking back, and this sea of fans just all the way to Citizens Bank to line up for this practice, and people were pouring in. It was a great time. I don't really remember what you asked me.
Yeah, I said that is how long it was. That's all I want to know.
So it was 8:30 to 10 till the gates opened. We were waiting, and then 11:45 to 12ish practice starts. So we're sitting there for another 2 hours before practice starts in the first row, just hanging out, talking to other people.
Yeah.
You know, it was fun. And then from 12 to about 2 o'clock they practiced, and they signed autographs till about 2:30. So it was a long day.
Made a whole day out of it.
It was a really long day.
That's pretty cool. No, actually, I was listening on the Sports Radio today, and I forget who it is. I think it's Hollis Thomas. It's one of the Eagles players on it. And he was saying he went down to when he was a Saint, that before they won the Super Bowl, there was like 40, 50 people at their training camp thing. I mean, even when we were at Lehigh, I used to go there, you know, I was a little younger, and there was a lot of people. So that just shows that
16,000.
we have a fan base, and we are loyal. We're passionate. You know what? We'll yell at you, whatever. We'll get on you, but it's because we care. It's because we care. I mean, that's really all it comes down to. Is just caring. I saw one of the pictures that you sent me was the quarterbacks were throwing baseballs at the at the guys at the nets. What do you think of that?
That was right in front of us. That was like right when practice started. So I was amped up. I was yelling for Sam Bradford. I really liked the way he was looking. He looks like he's ready to go. All the guys, they're released. It's different. I mean, Chip Kelly's innovative. He wants them to get involved in different things and use different things. Some of the guys were doing MMA fighting in the off season to get strength. And with Jake Glazer and his gym, all he's doing for players, and this baseball thing, just another innovative thing. It's helping you get your release tighter and your form better. So
they could use them down at Citizens Bank right now with how we're doing. Maybe that's what Chip has in mind. Maybe for next spring.
Yeah.
Next spring I'll have him go out, get down spring training.
Switching sports, working out.
Two-sport athlete. Maybe you could do it. Now we're going to go to Chip Chatter. We got some questions from some of our viewers. Justin Bradley asked on YouTube, what will our record be? Now we're going to assume if they played the whole season, what would our record be if Sam Bradford was a starter, if Mark Sanchez was a starter, if Tim Tebow was a starter? So we'll start with Bradford.
I'm going to say for Bradford, I said it in another show before, I said 12-4, so I'm sticking with it. I really have been looking over their schedule, and I think it'll be, not every game's going to be the smoothest to start the season, but he'll get better and better and better, I think, and he'll be the guy, and they'll go. I think they're going to go 12-4.
Okay. Mark Sanchez, say Sam Bradford gets hurt first play of the season. God forbid. Don't crucify me. What would record be if Mark Sanchez started the whole season?
I still think this is a really good team. I don't think it's going to hinge on quarterback play every single game, and I think Sanchez is very capable of getting a winning record, maybe 9-7 or 10-6. It's just going to come down to him not being able to duel with certain quarterbacks. I mean, when you watch him at practice, there's nothing like Chip Kelly said this before. There's no substitute for watching a player live. Like, that's when you really can see it. It's clear, like, whatever people want to say is fine. These reporters, these fans, Sanchez this, Sanchez that. Sam Bradford's he hasn't even played in like 2 years, and he's clearly the most talented quarterback on the field. So Sanchez, if he started, I think the record would drop it. Even though they're still a good team, it would be something around 9-7, 10-6. That's a good record, but
not good enough. Okay, so Sam Bradford gets hurt first game of the season. Mark Sanchez gets arrested for stealing cheesesteaks from Pat Gingino's. He's locked up. Tim Tebow is now your starter. What's the record of Tim Tebow as a starter?
Oh man, I think they'd go under 500, maybe even 6-10 or so, 5-11. He threw one of the worst passes I've ever seen. He dropped back. He's looking. He's holding the ball. The coaches want you to get rid of the ball because you're in a red jersey. You can't get hit, so they're trying to simulate that pressure. And he, looks over the middle to the running back, and he just throws this noodle pass, and it just skips right in front of the running back. It was literally a 5-yard pass. Could have hit the guy, and he just ugly throw. A couple ugly throws. played well, but.
So we call Kevin Cobb out of retirement. What's their record? All right, just kidding. Now what? We got another.
Matt Barkley would be around 5-11 as well. Throw a couple of terrible passes. So,
Yeah.
I mean, don't want to knock on those guys. I know they're doing their best. But
Yeah. I mean, they're backups. You know what I mean? They're not. You know, not everyone's going to be a star. So another question from YouTube. I hope I'm getting this right, man. Squints Howdoris. He says, can you talk about all the injury-prone guys, such as Ryan Matthews, Sam Bradford, DeMarco Murray, Miles Austin? You got to see them firsthand at camp, so.
I did. I don't know why that people call DeMarco Murray injury-prone. A running back, you know, in the NFL today, especially when you're, especially when you're the workhorse. Dallas didn't really commit to anyone else other than him for the past, you know, however many years since he's been the starter. And he's been okay, so I don't really think he's got a problem. Ryan Matthews had a bad injury last year, but again, like a lot like DeMarco Murray, he was the guy in San Diego. They expect him to take all the carries, and that's just not realistic. Yeah. He's played 16 games, I think, twice, 12 games twice, and 14 games, and then 6 games. Just check. They got these people have to check the numbers. I'm not sorry, Squints. I'm not knocking you, but check the games played. I mean, last year was a bad year, but for the most part, he hasn't missed more than 4 games every season, so I think he'll be all right. Miles Austin, just getting older, so I mean, if we count on to be our number 1, maybe he could be up for injury, but you know. And then Sam Bradford, I think he'll be all right. I want to hope so. You know, he's the guy that you can say, okay, he's had the shoulder injury in college, and the ankle injury in the NFL, and now the knee injury, so we'll see how he does. But if you protect him, I think he'll be all right.
No, I think Chip's done a great job getting. You know, we have depth on offense in our skills position, so we really haven't had too many, big injuries from the offensive. I mean, our linemen usually get destroyed every year, but you can't really switch those guys out.
I would say I'm more concerned about the offensive line staying healthy than the other skill position guys, because DeMarco Murray misses a game or 2 here or there. We have Matthews. If Matthews misses, we have Murray, and we have Sproles. But I mean, Bradford's obviously a big player. I don't want him to get hurt at all, but I think that goes hand in hand with the line. So yeah, hopefully we can keep that line healthy.
No, if we can keep that line healthy, that would be huge for us. So our last question is from Instagram. Colin Zatelli, he asked, who's going to be our offensive MVP and our defensive MVP?
That's a great question. That's one of my favorite questions that we've gotten, to be honest. I'd have to say offensively, I'm not going to go cliche quarterback or running back or whatever. Whatever the case may be, I'm going to go with offensive line. I think that unit will be the offensive MVP, because that's where it all starts. Jason Peters, Chip Kelly noted that he's in the best shape of his life right now. He dropped 25 pounds. Chip Kelly said he looks better and moves better than he has in the first 2 years that he's here. He went from 345 to 320, cut out sweets from his diet. Jason Peters said that himself. So I think he's a real big key to keeping Bradford upright. And on defense, it's tough to say, but I'm going to go with Fletcher Cox. He's going to take a huge step forward, Pro Bowl season this year, and he's going to be the force that just disrupts everything for other offenses.
Okay. Now, Con, I know you want a player on offense, so I'm going to help you out with that. I'm going to say Sam Bradford. I'm going to say he surprises everyone. So if that line stays healthy, if the line plays like Tom's MVP, and Sam Bradford stays healthy and doesn't get knocked down, doesn't get hit too much, he's going to be getting that ball out much faster than Coles, which just so frustrating. Get that ball out quick the way the offense is designed to. I think he can be the MVP. And defensive MVP, I'm going to go with my favorite player, Malcolm Jenkins.
I was going to say him too.
He was just a monster last year. And playing with junior varsity cornerbacks like Kerry Williams and Bradley Fletcher, he stepped up huge last year.
Good riddance to that.
Thank goodness. All right. That's going to wrap it up for this week's episode. Battles of NovaCare Series Linebacker Edition. Next week, we're going to be coming at you, breaking down Sunday's training camp where Tom's going to be at. I'm hoping I can be there. Well, we're going to be breaking down everything you see Sunday with practice. If you have nothing to do on Sunday, definitely go down. What time should you get there early?
If you want a front row seat, I just actually had prompted a question on Instagram, and we wanted questions for the show, and the only comment I got since last I checked my phone on my picture, the other people were sending me direct messages, but this guy asked me, can you move up to the front row? So hopefully you can move up. I mean, you can. I mean, I'm not the guy to say or not, but you have to get there early. You really have to get there. They pack up, and it's going to be a weekend, so get there early if you want front row seats and join us. We'll be there. You know, we'll be talking football with anyone around us who wants to talk. So.
This guy Tuesday was taking selfies like a teenage girl at a One Direction concert from the front row. Look where I'm at. Look where I'm at. But thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys next time.